front of my FC house, Final Fantasy Life. Been enjoying this game, still enjoying this game, it's great. One of my friends asked me just to do a video for Bard. Well, no, he asked me about Bard rotations, and I had an old video, but just updating it, because the old one was for another person, and I had slowed things down to explain piecemeal to her. These are my standard bars here for when I go into most fights. Actually, my Shadow Bite usually gets changed with Sidewinder, because most of the times I'm just fighting one boss, one character. But as you see, I have my double tap bars set up, so I got my Sidewinder and my other one on here. You know what? There is one change I'm gonna make, just on the off chance that I ever need it, which a lot of times I do not. Alright, when I start off all my attacks. Storm Bite, Caustic Bite, those are the two dots. The reason you want to do that is Sidewinder hits harder, hits for more damage if you have poison damage over time skills on it. So you want to use that. And then when we start fights, most times I'll pop my Wanderers and my Battle Voice and, you know, Raging Strikes, Barrage, because I really want to start the fight with a lot of damage when I can burst it. That way, you know, overall by the end of the fight, I deal as much damage as I can, because I will have popped it more. Now and then, there's been a few times where they're like, oh, someone's got to tank this mob. If I know I have to like tank a mob for whatever reason, then I'll save my big burst damage skills for then, just so I make sure I maintain aggro. But yeah, let's start it off. Wanderers, Raging, Barrage, Battle Voice, Storm Bite, Caustic. As you see, I already got Reflungent up. Pitch Perfect as soon as it's available. During the downtime, you know, it's good to use that burst shot. And there's my Reflungent again. Rain of Death. It's like using this rotation, things come up really often. And then I can hop over here. Later on there's Apex Arrow, but a lot of times I use burst shot until it's up there. Ethereal, and you see how my Wanderers wore off? Now I hit armies. And, sorry, I messed up a little bit in that I did not use Iron Jaws to keep my dots up. But you try to use Iron Jaws all the time to keep them up. Right now, I keep my buttons in the order where I know I'm gonna hit them to use them. But yeah, I burst a lot during downtime. Once these other skills are up, light them up again. And there goes my armies, and look at that, Wanderers back up, along with my Raging, my Barrage. Let me throw out a little Apex. And these skills are coming back into sync right here. Every time Pitch Perfect is up, you really want to use it since it doesn't last long and it deals a nice crap ton of damage. During the off time when it goes down, I go back to Burst Shot. You know, I'll get my Refulgent. Oh. And it wore off, and I got a few seconds left until I get my armies. Sometimes if you're bored, you know, you could throw out a little Mage Ballad to help those guys. Iron Jaws keeps the dots up. And then look, my armies is back up. The reason I use armies as a second to Wanderers is because of its ability. I'll let that lag a second. So down here, like I said, I open with Wanderers. Wanderers, all party members get 2% more chance to crit, and it increases 40% chance for my repertoire damage over time, you know, and it allows Pitch Perfect to stack up. So that's the most damage I'm going to deal when I use Wanderers at the start. When that goes down, I hit up here with armies, because direct hit rate goes up for everybody. And once again, my caustic, my storm bite are dealing more damage. Weapon skill cast time is down, which comes in really handy, because sometimes refulgent and sometimes Rain of Death will proc back up like super quick instantly. And since Rain of Death has, you know, its own little timer, it's extra damage, it's free damage. But yeah, a lot of fights. I know last time you saw me start with Wanderers, just because I'm trying to stress that it is a really good maneuver to start with. But usually when I start, Storm Bite, Caustic Bite, and then I pop on Wanderers, Raging, Barrage, Battle Voice, and look, Pitch Perfect already proc. Over here to Refulgent. Pitch Perfect only pops up for a little while. Like, you really want to use it when you can, because you're only going to get a few chances during Wanderers to use it. While Refulgent Arrow can sit there for a second, you know, it's not going to go anywhere in that time. But every time your Pitch Perfect is up, you want to use it. And now, boom, that one's down. Switch to armies. Iron Jaws. My dots were down to single digit. I know you see the same buttons going off over and over. And yeah, Refulgent is a beast. Imperial Arrow deals a nice chunk too. And then, yeah, armies were off. You want Mage's Ballad back on, but one of the big things with the bards is keeping the dots up. When you have multiple ads, you know, you're out here, you're like, boom, here's one. You got them all, since the dots last for a while. A lot of people wish that bards had, you know, something to share the poison, share the attack, because it's a lot that your dots deal. But yeah, my rotation that I use, once my dots are up, Wanderer's on. Every time Pitch Perfect is up, light it up. Pitch Perfect has its timer, so you want to keep going. But yeah, like my downtime buttons really are Burst Shot, and I'll mix in Protect Arrow now and then. Because everything else, it's like once it's available, you know, Refulgent Arrow, Rain of Death, Sidewinder, once they're available, use them. Iron Jaws, once I see it hit single digits, I try to do it. I really don't wait for one. And then yeah, once you lost Wanderers, you switch to your next armies. A lot of times in between fights, yes, there will be gap seconds where you don't see things, but you know, by the time my armies ends, now my Wanderers is going to be back up, and I'm just chaining into more damage. Alright, stop for a second. And then like I was saying too, like this, check my Rain of Death. See how I just crit back? Instantly refreshes. Quick knock, Rain of Death. It's like every 2 quick knocks or 3 quick knocks, my Rain of Death is redone. Let's see if I can hit all 3 of these targets. They're a little far out, but started off. Wanderers. I'm actually surprised my Rain of Death didn't prop back up yet. Oh, you know why? Because I was slacking. Dots are key to a lot of bard rebuffs. It increases the chance for things. Rain of Death is already reset again. But most of the skills, once they're available, is when you want to just cock them back up and use them again. But I'm just trying to stress that, yeah. Usually dot it up. My 2 dots are on. Wanderers, Raging Barrage, and then I do my battle voice whenever I can, because that adds a nice chunk of damage. And, you know, hitting that pitch perfect. First strike is my go-to when I don't have anything going on. But usually, you saw I have buttons flashing all around. Here we go. Caustic, Stormbite, Wanderers, Raging, Barrage, and it would have been Battle Voice. Every time Pitch Perfect's up, go, and then I'm just hitting Burst Strike during my downtime moment. Oh, there's Refungent again. Pitch Perfect's back up. Imperial, Pitch Perfect's back up. Refungent, Rain of Death, Pitch Perfect's back up. Like, Pitch Perfect stays running while that's going on. And then when that wears off, yeah, damage goes down a little, but you still got all these other skills going. My Reflungent popped how many times now? Like every second shot I have going off a burst, it's up again. Rain of Death talk back around again. It's good, it's good. But, yeah, that's my basic rotation right there for my Bard class. So, I don't know, I hope that helped. Later on, I didn't know if you had it already, but Apex Arrow is going to hit all your enemies in a straight line. It's good sometimes. It is good when your song is getting there, because potency increases up to 600 as the soul gauge exceeds the minimum, and it consumes the last of it. Yeah, I hope that helped, man. Alright, catch you later.